there's a weak point here between a triple clamp, an OEM triple clamp, or a super clamp. There's a weak point. Is it the triple clamp? Is it the riser? Is it the bracket on top of the riser? Is it the bar? What is it? I can tell you on paper, but I can tell you much more revealing from experience. My last crash, which was horrible, revealed one weak point of all this scenario of what holds the bars on. And the result, the answer, the weak point is gonna blow your mind. I'm GoGo for Superduke.com. That's Superduked with a D. Let's get into this. I promise this will be quick, revealing, and very helpful because you are going to avoid making a mistake that I have made so many times in the past without even realizing it. And I'm going to prove this in a second. I had a customer recently ask an interesting question. He was really thinking. I appreciate that. I love questions. The thread depth on a super clamp is only like 12 millimeters of thread contact that you get when you put the bolts in, right? It's only 12 millimeters deep. On an OEM triple clamp, it's like 17 millimeters. So he said, I'm sure it's fine, but is it strong enough? Is this strong enough? Okay, so because this aluminum is 7075 T6, T6 means it's heat treated. 7075 means it's an alloy. So there are several different metals brought together to make this one stronger alloy. Sounds like allies, right? I don't want to talk about politics, but what is going on? Okay, so this is an alloy, and it's because of all those metals working together as one, it's super strong. It's actually with only 12 millimeters of thread depth versus 17 in the triple clamp. This is almost 2 times stronger, even with less threads than the OEM clamp. So that's cool, right? But what's even cooler is this question that he asked me got me thinking and got me poking around and confirming depths and doing all this stuff. And I took my Gen 3 race bike apart that I recently crashed. Well, recently, spring. One of the most damaging crashes that I've had to the bike and to my brain. I promise you, I keep thinking I'm 100% recovered, and I keep finding out that I'm not quite 100% recovered. So it was an intense impact, not just to me, but to the bike. Because when I unbolted, see, this says bad on here now. It didn't say bad on it before. Used to be on my super clamp on the Gen 3. And when I took the wrench and loosened this bar riser, I noticed that it wasn't really torqued. And I thought, well, that's weird. Did I leave it loose before when I put it on? Like, that's not like me. I'm not a great mechanic, but I'm pretty paranoid when it comes to the race bike. So what the hell? It wasn't like loose finger type, but it wasn't torqued. So I took it off and I was really curious, and I noticed that it's really loose. Like, what the hell? I didn't know these things were that loose. So, I don't know. I just figured it's an anomaly or something. But then I took a Gen 2 bar riser that I had because I've been doing a lot of work with these super clamps. By the way, the Gen 1 is almost done. The Gen 2 is done and shipped. The Gen 1 is almost done. So I took this Gen 1 and 2 riser and I put it on my triple clamp, and I noticed, look how tight it's on there. Like, it's this tolerance, this machining, it matches like almost perfectly. There's very little play. Hear it? Then I put my crashed one back on, and I said, why is that so different? Like, what the hell? And then I looked down really closely, and you could see daylight. I feel like an old man. You can see daylight underneath this bar riser. So believe it or not, the impact, well, I was going to ask you a question. What do you think? There's the bars, there's like the brackets that hold it on top, there's the riser, and there's the triple clamp. Which do you think is the weakest link in the chain? But I blew it because I just already told you what the weakest link in the chain is. It's the riser. It's not the bolt. The threads in the Gen 3 super clamp that got torqued so bad, they're perfect. The top surface of the super clamp that got smashed so hard, it's perfect. This bracket is fine, no problems. This bar riser, this is what failed. This bar riser got tweaked and torqued so badly because what happened in the crash was I went into a turn and I was at full lean. I wasn't at full speed. It was my second attempt at the first lap, and the bike was running very strangely. And I threw it into the left, cracked on the throttle, and the motor died. And then, pow, the motor came back. High-sided me, whack, the bike so hard, the bike just whack. I got shot to the moon, and the bike got smashed, bam, like that. A lot of times when you crash, you're going forward, the bike hits, the bars turn, and it kind of drags its way. Well, this one just went whack, and those long bars really tweaked the riser. They tweaked this riser so bad, it was a lot of pulling up. The bolt didn't go anywhere, the bolt didn't even get bent. The thread's perfect, but this bar riser got like, if you could melt it with a torch and bend it like this surface is actually round. And these two like extrusions that come down and hang right in this little channel right here, they're wide, they're opened up and wide like this. So if it kind of rocks, like it rocks this way and it turns this way, and the contact patch, instead of being a nice flat plane that sits right on top of that plane, and now it's like a football. Do you know what the downside is to riding, or even worse, racing with a bar riser that has a bottom shape like a football? Something that I refer to as confusion. If you ever took a bicycle or a motorcycle and you wheeled it up to a wall, like a brick wall, or you can even do this with your bike, right up to a brick wall and wedge the tire so it's like stuck somewhere, and try to turn those bars. You'll notice you'll be able to turn those bars. You will. There's flex, like everything flexes. The triple clamps can flex like this. So the result of just the triple clamps doing that is the tire is kind of pointed this way and your bars are kind of pointed that way. So that's something that I call confusion, meaning there's something pointed this way, there's something else pointed this way, and the difference between those two things is the confusion. So you might be feeling the bars only, thinking you're going this way, but the bike is going that way, right? That's why the Superclamp is kind of helps you with confidence, because it's more rigid. It keeps the front tire in line. But there's lots of things that can flex, right? Low tire pressure, the tire, the shape is doing this. The frames of motorcycles can bend and twist. Sometimes this is good, this flex. Sometimes some flexes are bad. But this confusion is kind of like a disconnect between what you're doing and what you're experiencing, right? I'm doing this and something else is happening. That is what I call confusion. And we can talk more about this in the future. It's really interesting if you could ride a bike as fast as you can with these triple clamps, the OEM triple clamps. And then blink, somehow magically I could blink and you put on these triple clamps and go ride the same place, the same track, the same roads, the same speeds with this one, you would feel a difference. Even if you use, like these are adjustable offset, right? So that's really tricky what they can do. Even if you use the OEM offset and the OEM offset, and all you were changing was the structure, the strength, right? The rigidity of this triple clamp, you would feel less confusion. And therefore your confidence goes whoop like this, because now you're turning left and the bike's turning left, right? When do you bend the bars? Like, okay, so you go to a wall and bend the bars against the concrete wall. Big deal. When do you ride like that? You do ride like that, okay? When you brake really hard, there's so much force that's going through your tire and your wheel, which is connected with these long bars, right? I mean, not bars, forks. Your long forks. They're like 3 feet long, and they're held at the top. So there's some bend there, right? What happens when you're braking really hard and leaning into a turn? You're trying to get 420 pounds plus your big ass or my big ass to change direction, that's twisting things like this. That's twisting your forks will twist like this, will bend like this. So your axle goes this way, your axle goes that way, while you're doing something different. That's confusion, right? You cut it down, you build your confidence, you have more of it, you're like, what the fuck is going on? So that's a downside to having a bar riser that is like rocky like this, because now you have another element of confusion added to your riding experience, which sucks. Do you know how many Superdukes I have crashed upside down, flipping through the air, wild damage, carnage? It's a lot. It's a lot. 17 years, it's a lot. Do you know how many of these Superdukes that I rebuilt? Sometimes in 30 minutes, sometimes in 2 weeks, and raced again? Every single one of them. Every single one of them. I just assumed that these were perfect. Put them back on, bolted the bars, and we're racing. Every one of them. I wonder how many of them are as bad as this one is. It's now marked as bad. You're bad. So, check your bar risers, because they are the weakest link in this whole triple clamp scenario. I'm Gogo for Superduked.com. I hope this helps you.